Thank you for your attention. My name is Finbar Dolan. I'm the CEO of Versono Medical. And Versono Medical is a Galway-based medical technology startup company focused on an enormous global need to transform the endovascular treatment of complex total occlusions. There are over 250 million people globally suffering from peripheral artery disease, and patients who receive the most advanced diagnosis of critical limb-threatening ischemia face a prognosis equivalent to an aggressive cancer. 25% of patients will have died after the first year, and 30% of patients will have an amputation at enormous personal expense to them, their families, and their healthcare systems. And over 2 million people receive a surgical procedure for critical limb-threatening ischemia. Half of those receive a minimally invasive endovascular procedure, and the other half receive an open form of surgery, either an endarterectomy, a bypass procedure, and still today in the States, about 170,000 patients receive a major or minor amputation. At enormous cost to the healthcare system, the CMS spends about $10 billion a year performing those amputations. And the surviving amputees incur an additional almost $1 million additional dollars in healthcare costs over the remainder of their lives. Each year, there's 170,000 million added to the cost of healthcare in the States as a result of the amputations. And the terrible thing is, it need not be that way. Successful endovascular procedures, indeed the very first endovascular procedure performed by Charles Dotter, was a limb salvage case. And it demonstrated that successful endovascular procedures can prevent amputations. However, not every endovascular procedure is successful. And the reason for that is that in over 50% of cases, the blockage is so severe with the consistency of cement or tar, it prevents guide wires delivering the revascularizing therapy. So 60 years after the first angioplasty, this enormous need to be able to cross through these blockages in both the peripheral anatomy as well as in the coronary anatomy and beyond exists. Some doctors can perform complex techniques to get around these cases, but they're very time-consuming, take a lot of practice to perfect, and often fail. What FastWire does is it allows physicians first time, every time, to cross any type of blockage, whatever its composition, calcified or thrombus or fibrous, of whatever length, of 2 millimeters, 20 millimeters, 500 millimeters, in any location, above the knee and below the knee and beyond. And it does so safely because it's supple and it's very simple to use, so physicians don't need to learn very advanced techniques. But more than this, FastWire is a new platform technology, and the engineers in Versono are currently working on a pipeline of products to meet further therapeutic and diagnostic indications. This video will just demonstrate how the product operates.
Crossing complex total occlusions, CTOs, have been an enduring and the most challenging need in endovascular surgery. Many innovative products and surgical procedures have evolved to compensate, but are difficult to execute and time-consuming to use. Versono's crossing wire arterial access technology simplifies and speeds up treatment. Complex lesions in peripheral anatomies are challenging due to their length and heterogeneous composition. Calcified segments in CTOs make crossing them with guide wires time-consuming at best. Versono's crossing wire system is a compact, off-the-shelf product which includes an actuator, a driver, and a specialist proprietary endovascular wire that can be easily stored in the cath lab. Versono's crossing wire is used like a conventional guide wire, and when in position at a CTO, it is threaded into the actuator. The proximal button is pressed down, allowing the wire to pass through the actuator. The actuator is fed over the wire to the desired location for activation. The actuator is then locked into position by turning the distal cap, which, when pressed in and rotated clockwise, will tighten the actuator to the wire with the desired level of torque, so gripping the wire with sufficient force to allow ultrasonic energy be coupled into the wire. The physician can then energize the activator with ultrasound, whilst advancing the wire carefully through the lesion. The progress of the advancing wire through the lesion and the diameter of the new lumen that has been excavated by the Versono crossing wire system can be viewed under fluoroscopy. Distinct features at the distal end of the crossing wire provide optimum visibility to the physician, allowing them to understand precisely the wire location while considering the suitability of the excavated lumen for follow-on therapy. Versono's technology platform can navigate throughout the vasculature and treat CTOs in femoral, popliteal, tibial arterial anatomies. When activated, the crossing wire transforms into a device that can rapidly excavate and cross through any type of plaque, calcified or fibrous. This is optimized by controlling the distal end of the wire and the ultrasonic energy applied.
The potential of FastWire was demonstrated in first-in-human studies that were performed last year by Dr. Mustafa and presented last September by Dr. Walker. Only severely diseased arteries were considered in the study, and 3 times more tibial arteries that were considered than femoral popliteal arteries. They're all long. The average length was 9 inches or so in length. And FastWire crossed all of these blockages successfully without any perforations, any dissections, or any failure of the device. And it did so in crossing times that are equivalent to non-CTOs. In other words, that physicians will be able to treat more vessels or more patients more successfully using the technology. This slide just gives you an idea of the challenging lesions that were crossed. They were all calcified and ranged in length from 60 millimeters, or about 6 centimeters, to half a meter in length. The crossing times antegrade were about 5 minutes. Typical wiring time would be about 6 minutes, and going from the dorsal pedal anatomy up was a matter of only seconds. But more than this is the result of one of the cases where you can see on the left the arteries beforehand, and on the right, the revascularized artery, which was better and sized at nominal pressure. This indicated a secondary effect that's been noticed with the technology in both the tibial and the femoral anatomy, where the device has gone down through the center of the vessel, but also because of the way in which the physics is controlled in the wire, allows a lateral oscillation at 20 kilohertz to disrupt the plaque, the intramural plaque, the medial plaque in the vessel wall, and allows safe expansion of the angioplasty balloon under that pressure. So it not only crosses, but it also softens the vessel and allows for a successful angioplasty without any dissection. The potential of FastWire has also been recognised as a platform technology by the Disruptive Innovation Technology Fund in Ireland, and our engineers are working in further indications of vessel preparation and also vascular sensing. We're currently raising 7 million as an extension to our existing round and looking to raise 25 million euros next year to commercialise the technology. We've rearranged our board, and we have our chairman, Jim Green, who's an ex-senior VP of Sales and Marketing for Medtronic, but also has years of experience in commercializing new technologies and startups. And with Peter Walsh, who used to run all of Medtronic's operations, global manufacturing operations, and an exceptional team of physicians, Dr. Walker, Dr. Mustafa, Dr. Zeller, and Dr. Chris Lassar. I'll leave you with this slide and thank you for paying attention, and a list of our achievements is there. If there's any questions, please.